Okay.
Well, hello. So here I am with Rachel Geraldo, and I'm going to get to spend a couple minutes getting to know Rachel a little bit better. And so, Rachel, thanks first for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me today. Um, and so I'm just gonna start in. I was gonna ask you, and I think I shared this with you already, like who is your favorite Bengal fan and or Bengal player? And you kind of alluded to the fact that there are other sports in the world, which I didn't even know that there were other things that went on besides football. So first, just tell us a little bit about like what else goes on in your sports world that you were excited about recently.
Sure. Yeah. So this past Saturday was obviously the Bengals game that everybody's very familiar with. But that morning, we started off our morning watching the Australian Open. It was the men's final for tennis. And that is a really big tennis tournament in the world
Yeah.
tennis community. And Rafa Nadal broke a world record. He's a Spaniard. My father's from Spain. My husband's from Spain. And so Rafa Nadal is a Spaniard, so we're big fans of his. He's had a really
Okay.
long tennis career, and he won his 21st like major title. And so he broke world records because he was tied with two other tennis players for 20 each in their career, and he got 21. So that was a really big deal.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are other things that are going on in the world. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, it was. It
So
was a good day. It was right from that right into the Bengals that afternoon. So it was a big sports day for
a big
everybody.
day.
Really excited. Big day.
And so I was hoping like a chance for people to know a little bit more about you. We can talk about some therapy stuff too. But so like what else might people like have no idea about you that's kind of either hidden talents or things that are kind of interesting about what you and your family do that maybe very few people know about?
Sure, yeah. So just some basics would be that I live in Covington, very close to downtown Covington, but we do have a piece of land. And so we have chicken. We have hens. We have 8 hens, and we take care of them. We get eggs, no roosters.
Oh,
So we get to enjoy some farm fresh eggs. And they're out there right now on the ice trying to stay warm. So, and we also are beekeepers. So we have a few hives and just a very small scale, and get our own honey and things like that as well, which is a lot of work, but it's a fun
it
hobby.
is a lot of work. And have you gotten stung doing
Yes,
that? Yeah. So
yes,
that's
I
just part
have.
of it.
My husband and my kids have probably gotten stung more than me because my husband actually does more of the beekeeping than I do. I do more of the like jarring the honey and those things than the actual like hands-on. I do some of it, but he does a lot more of that stuff.
Oh,
So
that's fascinating. Awesome. Well, let me just take a minute. I was going to ask you like all the names of your hens, but we won't take the time to go into all that. But so, what makes you passionate about the work that you do? I can tell the passion for the hens and the bees. What makes you passionate about the work that you do?
yeah, I really love, I mean, just in general with therapy, of course, I love getting to be just a part of the change process. I love that, it feels like such an honor to be invited into people's innermost workings, right? And then being a part of seeing change in their life. And that gives me a lot of value knowing that that then has ripple effects, right? So when we work with one person, it is one person. However, it impacts their immediate family members or relationships, intimate partners, or maybe their children, if they have any, or future children, to just kind of change and hopefully improve a lot of unhealthy patterns and habits that might be impacting the broader scale too. So I think being a part of that is really exciting to me to get to affect change even beyond that person.
That's such a
And then
beautiful way of looking at it. Yeah.
thanks. And then one other thing I specialize really in treating anxiety. And I really love working with anxiety because we know so much about, from like a neuroscience perspective, we can understand so much about what's going on in the brain with anxiety and understand why different treatments work and are helpful. So that's really exciting to me because I love, that we can have that knowledge and really feel pretty confident about our ability to be able to like help people actually change and feel better is encouraging to me too. And I love that.
That's wonderful because anxiety, as we all know, can be so immobilizing. And so to be able to help somebody do that, you change that person. And I love the way you can have that vision about how that changes everybody else they interact with. Is there a particular style that you use or I don't know how. So
Locality.
what is it? What is it makes Rachel? Because it's unique about treating anxiety.
Yeah, so I really come from a couple of very different approaches, and I kind of modify based on the person I'm working with or blend together just based on the phase we're at in treatment. But I do use a lot of CBT approach. I pull in a lot of neuroscience and just kind of understanding of the brain, like I kind of alluded to already, and really just building a lot of just techniques and skills and to manage the experience of anxiety and panic or phobias, things like that. Do some exposure therapy sometimes as well, depending on the phobia or what we might be addressing. And then I also am an EMDR trained as well, not EMDR certified yet, but I'm EMDR trained. So I do use a lot of EMDR as well. Even with clients that are dealing with anxiety, may have past traumas and things like that as well that we address through that means.
You have a lot of skills that you can bring for different clients. So one last question that I have for you. So during the pandemic, how have you personally found balance? And I always ask this the one question to my clients, if what blessing have you found during the pandemic? So that was actually two questions that I asked you, balance and blessing. So for you personally, what have you discovered during the pandemic?
Yeah, I don't feel like the pandemic honestly impacted us too much from a lifestyle perspective. I kind of realized I lived a lifestyle that was kind of already conducive to that in a way. I was online. I still do online teletherapy, but I did keep going into the office when they allowed us to do that. So, and I kind of like not having as many things to run around and go to. It was kind of relaxing, and I really benefited from having less options and not having that internal pressure to fill the calendar and to do the things. It was kind of a nice slowdown, honestly. And then just really taking care of myself with just the basics of, still exercising, still eating healthy, just enjoying time with family. On our land, we have some woods in our backyard. So we were still able to go out and go for walks in the woods, and really didn't feel totally enclosed, since we right in our own area here had access to outside spaces. So that really helped us out a lot too.
That sounds lovely. So I got a puppy, you got hens. So I
have a dog too. Definitely have a dog too. So
okay. Well, that's really nice. Well, Rachel, listen, thank you for taking the time for me to get to know you a little bit better, and for everybody else who will be watching this. And we'll talk again soon.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks so
much. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.